Hello, folks. Welcome to episode 13 of Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. I am Kyle.
I'm James.
How are you doing today, good sir?
I am doing fabulous today. How are you?
Doing well. It's been quite some time since I've seen your lovely face. Yeah. You and I have both been quite busy.
Very busy.
You've been sick. I have been watching you get sick slowly, and you've been busy working, and also have I. So I don't. I think most of our conversations have been through text and or Facebook messages at random times and Steam messages. I got one today from you, so I was very excited. So yeah, what's going on? What's new?
Just been working hard. Lots of stuff going on. And I think the last time we saw each other was when we were locked in a room together. Was that?
This is true.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, Garth Brooks.
As we go a little something like little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
Yes, we were locked in a room together voluntarily. Of course, we didn't owe anyone any ransom or anything like that. But yeah, we did one of those escape rooms. How did you feel about the escape room overall?
So it was a fun experience, but I really did not like the way that it was being run.
Yes.
A way that human beings learn is through trial and error. And so
This is
they
true.
said no guessing, which I can get. Like, if you guess, the gimmick is there's a zombie in the room, its chain gets longer, but if you guess, the chain gets longer artificially.
Yeah.
So I get that, like, if there's just the lock to get out and you just start pushing buttons on it, fine, you can punish you for that. But it's like, hey, I have this thing. I have this random postcard. Does it go with this thing? And so you start typing the postcard messages in, and she considered that guessing, not trial and error. Like,
Yeah.
it just...
It was weird.
And then so we actually had the answer because you needed to get 5 clues to get out.
Yeah.
So we had clues 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we had a 5th clue that we didn't know the order it was in.
Yeah.
So obviously we had
'Cause
the
they're not
answer.
marked.
Yeah, we had the answer. Like, because so we did solve the puzzles and eventually get, hey, that freaking clue you have left goes first. But
Yeah.
I mean, I said straight up, hey guys, we have this.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't have the last clue. Well, but no, we know that the last one is going to be a spade, and we have the other 4. So
Yeah.
this last one goes in the first slot.
So by a
That
trial,
doesn't count. That
it's
doesn't
the
count.
trial and error
Yeah.
aspect.
Well, it's not
yeah.
even, that one's not even trial and error. It's like deduction.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Deduction.
She
yes.
didn't like that either.
No,
Because we didn't
she
solve
was-
some of her puzzles. Like,
Yeah, she was real pissy about that. I feel like she was one of the creators of it, and I feel like
Yeah.
watching us
poke holes. in
yeah,
her
slowly
work.
poke
Yeah.
holes in all of her problems. She did not enjoy that. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I think I would do one of those again. Not the zombie one.
I'd want to try. There's like the one out by me on Coventry. It's called the Escape Room.
Okay.
So it's like more professionally done. It's like a chain. There's a few different scenarios. But I like that it's 5 people because literally everyone's like kind of working together to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think we had like 12 people or something.
Yeah, we had like 11. We almost had max.
There was not one person there who understood how we got all 5 answers.
I could not tell
Yeah.
you how we got any of them. The only thing that I remember, number 2 things I remember you getting on this table and using a robot to pull a lever.
So that got one of the clues.
Yeah.
And then when we got the flashlight batteries, I got the flashlight, and the second clue was in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And then those are
That's
the
it.
2 I got.
That's yeah.
So
I don't
really
even
know.
remember any
Yeah.
other ones because also my big complaint was the fact that we found out that the zombie is attracted to noise. So like I just said, well, I'm just gonna start clapping at the zombie. It's gonna follow me around, and it did. But then because of that, I no longer could really participate.
Yeah, you were on zombie duty.
I was on
Yeah.
zombie duty, so I'm like, well, that kind of and like Joe was very nice. Joe's one of our friends. Was very nice to hop in with me once in a while because after a while, your hands because you have to clap your hands over and over again. And oh my god, did that fucking hurt? Like my hands were just raw at the end of that. And I'm just like, I don't want to touch anything. Like fucking hurt. I feel like it's a good experience. I feel like I would like more physical, like you did with the robot thing. I feel like a lot of them were just like, well, we found this one, we found this one, we found that part. Let's put them together. Like I want the physical challenge
There's
of them.
that too, and I wanted more actual puzzles and not just be like, hey,
Just
the answer's
finding
written on
stuff.
the bottom of this book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like there is good parts to it and there are bad parts to it. I would definitely do it again. Not the zombie thing. Maybe
No.
just someone and a lot less
So
people.
The zombie thing was there as a crutch because there weren't, like I said, any puzzles. It was just like finding things And then
Yeah.
the real challenge was because there was 12 of us working at the same time,
Was to not get-
connecting the pieces of information.
Yeah, and not get touched
If
with
there
the
was
zombie.
no zombie in there, we would have been done in 15 minutes because
Yeah.
it's really like, I want to go over here and do this. Oh no, I'm jumping and running away.
Yeah.
Which, I realized we would all like murder each other in a real hot.
Oh,
there
without
was so much pushing. And
I know,
shoving
I
and-
know. I should have jumped through a couple things. I could not. Yeah, in the case of the zombie apocalypse, we turned into selfish creatures immediately. Yeah, and also I don't like how she wasn't telling us all the rules right away, because like,
Oh yeah, she was basically.
she was hiding stuff because we were
There's
solving things
yeah.
really quick and too quick for her likeliness, and that was a huge problem in her book. So I don't know. Yeah, because she didn't tell us about how the zombie reacts until I started
And
calling.
she looked so pissed off when Bethany opened the door. She's like, "How did they do that?" Like,
Yeah.
'cause- yeah.
She's acting like
we
she's a
only
mastermind.
had like a minute and a half left, and just because she like we are all moving, and like a few of us are like pretty quick. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're as a highly educated group of people. Like,
Exactly.
I don't want to sound smug, but
No,
yeah.
we're mostly college educated
Yeah.
to a certain point.
So like the hardest challenge, like I said, was avoiding the zombie and bringing the pieces of information together. So eventually,
Mm-hmm.
what I did is I saw people had scribbled stuff down on different notes. I wrote them down all in the same one, and that's how
Yeah.
I found out like we have all 5 right now. And I
Yeah, we
handed
just
it to
don't
Bethany.
know it.
She did the lock. I think she even got yelled at for no guessing.
Yeah.
But like then she pulled the key out, opened the door, and the lady was just not happy.
Oh no, not at all.
She
not
wanted
at
that
all.
smug sense of satisfaction that her little puzzle beat us. Like,
Exactly.
I think. I don't know. I might
Yeah, it was that, and just like she didn't tell us the zombie rule that we could get attracted by noise, because then I called her out for saying that the zombie is
Yeah,
on
it was
a
going
timer.
back and forth.
I was timing it out
It was
in front
obvious
of her.
they were like, hey, we need to give them a chance. So just like every couple of minutes, like
Yeah.
rotate around.
Exactly. And yeah, I kind of called her out for having a timed zombie, and she's like, it's not time, fuck you. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're a piece of horse shit. That, and when we had one portion where we did a puzzle wrong, and she acted like that was the end of the game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Jason's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the Die Hard puzzle where you needed to add 4 gallons.
Yes.
But instead of saying like a unit of measurement, they just used some random word like, hey, 4 things go in here.
Yeah.
So he took like 4 little stones and put them in, and she's like, you're done. He just ruined it for you.
Yeah.
So everyone stopped moving because we thought we lost.
And we
but-
stopped for like over a minute. Even the zombie
Yeah.
was like, kind of like went over to the girl and she's like, can you please tell them to keep going? Like, they think because your language,
Yeah.
you think that it's ended. Like, it's, I don't know, man. It was just that whole fucking thing. She was so annoying, and she was so smug about everything. Because just because you have a doctor's garb and
on.
attire does not mean that you are a doctor, nor on the same level of being a doctor. But yeah, I think it was fun. I also think the biggest crutch too was just having all those people, because we all knew certain things, but we were talking, but there's 12 people talking
Yeah.
at all in one. I feel like the idea of having 5 people in one room together would be ideal. I feel like we had way too many people. That wasn't good. But overall, it was fun. 60 minutes. I think we spent like $20.
story on it.
We had a good
$20 a
story.
head, yeah.
We had a good laugh afterwards. Started drinking before and after. Sorry, escape room. We weren't supposed to be drinking beforehand. But guess what? Hey, asshole. We were. We could not help it. I have to, I'm in an enclosed room for so many people for so long. I have to keep drinking, otherwise I'm going to implode as a person.
Yeah. But it was a good time. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I'd recommend it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how those are going to be good team building exercises.
No, I want to try one of, like I said, one of the more professionally done,
Yeah.
smaller group, so everyone's kind of working together and not
Just
just
trying
a
to find
bunch
stuff.
of like manic people doing random shit. and,
Yeah.
like, things kind of by freaking dispersion falling into place. And it's like, then we just
That's what it
had the
was.
answer.
Everything's just kind of, after a while, it's like the blind squirrel gets the acorn,
Yeah.
whatever that
But if you have enough
thing
blind
is.
squirrels and enough acorns,
Yeah, we
like,
just
it
keep running into
keeps
each other.
happening,
Yeah, we get to a centralized location. I did hear about one that makes me even, like, it just, ugh. It makes me all feel even more awkward. There's one where people, at the beginning of the game, you are handcuffed to another person for a portion of the game until you find the first clue, which is the keys to these handcuffs, which sound awful. And because of a team building exercise, say I took my office mates to do this, I would break my arm off immediately. No,
Be
we're
like
not.
Saw, you're just like
Yeah,
cutting
I
it
just
off.
don't even care. They're like, you don't have to do
Kyle,
that. Like,
go
I
lower,
don't
just do it at the wrist.
No. I don't need this. I don't need you. I don't need this. Fuck this game. Yeah, no, I don't understand how someone could be there like, oh, this is a really good team building exercise. Like, I would kill people at my office for this. It's not a good thing. I'm surprised we had no freakouts or anything. We're all pretty level-headed individuals, but like we had to tell people talking the whole time, and it's just kind of like gets very chaotic. And I think that's part of the game is to be chaotic.
I think so as well.
Anyways, how about you tell me what your like is this week?
Okay. So I'm gonna give a little story to build it up. That's why
I like
picked this
stories.
like.
We're
Kyle said
storytellers.
I was sick, so the reason the podcast is down is one, my grandma passed away, and then, but I'm not trying to get sympathy points here, but immediately after the funeral, like we went to go get something to eat, and I was like, I need to drive myself home. I don't feel well.
Yeah.
I got home, and I vomited so hard and so rough for the next week. It hurt when I breathed in all the way, and I'm pretty sure I pulled like 5 muscles.
So it's like you got the acid burn and whatever.
It was just like horrendous. Just like puking my absolute brains out.
Gotcha.
So the last few years I had been working at the Cleveland Clinic. Flu shots were mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get one this year, didn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wish I did because it was like the worst weekend I've had in a very long time. I'm in bed, I hurt everywhere, I'm sweating and I'm freezing at the same time. And like I said, I pulled a bunch of muscles in my neck from throwing up with such intensity and I couldn't even breathe in all the way.
Say, were you able to even play video games or enjoy yourself? I didn't think
I
so.
laid in bed doing nothing.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So
Damn.
my like is vaccines.
I like
think,
vaccines.
I think they're a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
So we should keep doing vaccines.
Can you tell me what a vaccine is for people at home who don't understand what vaccines do?
Sure. So vaccines are a way to inoculate yourself against a certain like virus, bacteria, or parasite or whatever. It's basically so your immune system can recognize a foreign invader and get rid of it real quick before it builds up enough to cause symptoms.
That's wonderful.
When you get like a virus or something, it gets in, it infects you, and it keeps making a bunch of copies of itself.
Okay.
And your immune system is working at the same time to try and have a way to identify it.
Yeah.
And then that way it can destroy it as it finds it. So it's working real hard to do that. So in a healthy immune individual, things like chickenpox and stuff, or even HIV, which your body will never get rid of.
Yeah.
Or chickenpox will eventually will, because you've never been exposed to this before. The virus gets a great head start, and by the time you can start fighting it off, you're bedridden, you're sick, you're super contagious, so the virus can go out and spread to other people. Yeah. So a vaccine is a way to prepare your body for this infection before it even gets there.
Okay.
So there's few different kinds of vaccines.
Okay.
So the first one is a live attenuated vaccine, where basically they have some of the virus but in a weakened state.
Okay.
And they infect you. And so sometimes this can cause symptoms like fever and stuff, but it's not really because the virus is doing work. It's your body's part of its own immune response is to cause the fever.
Fair enough.
So an example of like a live attenuated vaccine is like the measles, mumps, rubella one.
All right.
And the pros of these is because it's closest to the original pathogen, they're longest lasting. But the cons is like they're dangerous for people without healthy immune systems. Like if you have a compromised immune system,
so it's
it
a
doesn't
risk.
matter that you have a weakened version of the virus. It might take off and be full or
gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there's inactivated vaccines. This is like the one for polio, where it's just like basically viruses don't really die because they're not really alive, but essentially they're putting the virus corpse in your body. So it's neutralized. It can't work.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah. But
I had no idea.
Your body recognizes it, learns to fight, and then destroys it. So that's how it works.
Is that the easier way to do it?
I mean, it's not really easier. Like I said, the pro is it's less hazardous for people with compromised immune system. There still could be side effects, but the con is these usually don't work as well.
Okay.
I usually have to get boosters or maybe a few doses of it.
Gotcha.
And then there's another one called subunit vaccines. So this is where they only put like a small part of the invading pathogen. So like
like an arm.
Yeah, so you can think of it like that way.
Yeah.
So a virus is like, a sequence of usually RNA, but sometimes DNA, like packaged in a protein vessel.
Yeah.
And then so what your body starts to recognize is like the coding and like different pieces of it. And so anything it recognizes is called an antigen. Okay. So you put a few like possible antigens into the body, and then but there's none of the disease-causing components of the vaccine. Okay. So it's like, the upside is there's almost no danger. There's like almost no side effects. But the downside is like these are the least effective. Okay. Because if like you only put a few antigens in, well, if a few of those mutations get hit, the vaccine doesn't help anymore. Like it won't recognize this disease.
Gotcha.
So like when you put in the whole virus, either weakened or dead, your body can make antibodies, like pick a bunch of different things as antigens. So if like a certain part mutates, well, you still have a bunch of other antibodies that will recognize different pieces of it.
Gotcha.
But with the subunit one, you only put a few subunits in, a few mutations, and it's completely invisible to your immune system.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so the last one, this is mainly virus focused. There are bacteria.
Okay.
But there are DNA vaccines. So this is kind of like the subunit one, but it's a little. You actually inject the DNA that codes for the protein subunits of like the shells.
Mm-hmm.
So it's DNA goes in your body. Your own body makes the antigens, and then your body like recognizes them, wants to get rid of them, and then has an immune response against them. This one's still kind of experimental. Like it's mostly in veterinary animals so far, but there's a lot of potential in this one because you can make like a lot of different subunit ones.
Okay.
But it's mostly your own host machinery. Like there's no chance of like, well, we thought we inactivated all the virus, but it turns out, which doesn't happen a lot. Like,
so why is it only working on pets?
it's new. Like
Phone
it's
drops.
not that it's only working on pets. We're not really like.
Oh, okay.
Like human trials seem promising, but there's not one yet.
Okay. When can we push for those? That sounds fun.
I have no idea.
Who do I contact? Who do I email?
So that was my little nerd rant.
I like it.
I just want to point out there that there's absolutely no link between vaccines and autism. I know that's a scary one.
This is true.
So where
but
it
you know,
came
celebrities think that, so
Yes.
we should believe them because they're on television.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So there was a article that got published in the Lancet magazine that's now since defunct that said the doctor wrote, "Hey, the vaccine linked to autism." Turns out he was getting money to say that. It has been
weird.
redacted, and he lost his license for saying that.
Oh, good.
So no, they don't cause autism,
Yeah,
and there's no chance of it.
that's good. Good for them.
And like I said before, getting a vaccine to work requires your immune system working. So it's important for everyone that can get vaccinated against these diseases to get vaccinated
Yes.
because there are people that don't have healthy immune systems that are incapable of getting these vaccines.
Yeah.
So if everyone around them is vaccinated and is not carrying this disease, they won't come in contact with it.
Yeah.
But we had measles pop back up because this anti-vaxxing movement is like moving so much. Like,
yeah.
there's
It got
no
a lot of
chance.
uptick.
Yeah.
A lot.
So vaccines are very important. If your immune system is healthy,
Yeah.
get vaccinated. I
That's
think it's
true.
a requirement in most places, but yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I know. I know they offer them. They offered them in my old job. I don't know about my new job, about offering them at least. Did not get one this year, and I was definitely on the edge a couple times of being. I could tell. You just get that you just get that feeling. You're like, if this continues, another day. I'm going to get very sick.
For me, if it's like I miss that night of sleep for whatever reason, I don't get quite enough. It takes me.
Yeah.
There are. It's times where I just feel like I'm getting sick for like a week, but I was really well rested and it just goes away.
I tend to try to rest more, and then I try to eat as many Hall's cough drops as humanly possible. Jason can attest to this. I will buy bags upon bags, and I will not stop eating them until I think I feel better. I will put them in tea.
Your throat feel so
it
good.
feels so good.
And then it gets rid of that sick taste in your mouth.
Exactly. And it's like, and I get these honey ones, so they're like candy to me at this rate. They're not good. They're pretty much all sugar. I try to get the sugar-free ones, they don't taste as good. But yeah, like I will buy like the Costco size bags and just
You're basically
put them in
eating
my
candy,
tea,
so.
put them in my coffee. Any way, chance, or form, I will eat the shit out of them, and that's my own remedy. So that's a Kyle approved really shitty remedy.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
No.
It makes you like piss yellow for a while.
If all you have is like the cold,
Yeah.
like all you can do is like sleep and
Yep.
then do things that make you feel better. Airborne doesn't do shit. Those little like coldies things don't do shit.
I like the emergency ones. I feel like those work pretty well.
I mean, they don't actually.
They don't?
No.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Vitamin C is like overloaded in everything we have.
Okay.
So unless you're like a pirate from
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago and don't
I
have
could be.
access
You don't
to
fucking know
citrus.
that.
Yeah.
How well do you think you actually know me after 13 episodes,
Yeah.
James? I don't know. But yeah, so wait, they just start putting vitamin C in things?
So emergency is just like super loaded up vitamin
Yeah.
C. So it's not like more vitamin C is better. Like with vitamins, if you have enough, you're good. More doesn't help. There's only so many.
Yeah, because you just piss them away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you
More
like
like
are
rats.
eating food in the United States of America, you're good on vitamin C.
Okay.
Like unless you have a really really weird diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything
I
offhand.
mean, I'm
that has
talking
vitamin
like
C.
nothing but white rice for every single meal with no sauce or spice. Like,
Okay, fuck shit. All right, well then I guess I am a victim of a placebo effect because when I start getting sick, I also do the emergency twice a day, and it seems to work out. Everything seems to go better. But I mean,
That's why I said do whatever makes you feel better.
exactly. I mean, it makes me feel better knowing that I'm getting so much vitamin C that I'm just pissing it out.
Yeah, it's like a light show.
Yeah, it's
I can
fun.
highlight my notes with
Yeah,
my
it looks like a highlighter at that
luminescent
point.
urine.
As long as it's not blood, I think I'm doing okay in my book. But yes, the anti-vaxxer thing that has been going on, I feel like it's hit a lull though.
Yeah, it's kind of because measles popped back up.
Yeah, and
So
they're like,
people are
oh,
like,
how
"Oh,
did measles
no."
come back? Weird.
Even like Jenny McCarthy, who was like the big push, kind of backtracked and
Yeah.
was like, oh well, I didn't say I was like completely against vaccines. Like,
Ugh. Yeah, that's the problem with people. I mean, it's not even so like Jenny McCarthy can have her opinions.
Yeah.
That's great, and she could say them. We're allowed to. But it's the people that automatically believe her because she's on television. That's like the core problem.
I don't even know, because I don't think you should like kind of censor those people, but it's not really your opinion to say that like my kid had autism and then probiotics cured it.
Yeah.
Like that is just wrong.
No.
That is something you think is a fact and isn't a fact. It's
Yeah.
not your opinion. Like,
Yeah, there has
I
to be
don't think you
research.
should get vaccines, but you're
Yeah.
saying vaccines give my kids autism and I gave them probiotic yogurt and it went away. Like, what?
I gave him tons of Yoplait and Go-Gurts. Just random fun fact.
Go-Gurt.
Did you know that Go-Gurt in England is actually called Froobs?
No, that's awesome.
It's called Froobs. It's so much cooler than saying fucking Go-Gurt. I just want to let's put an example in terms of sentences. I'm gonna go slam some Go-Gurt, or I'm gonna go slam some Froobs.
Man, that one makes me want to do a kickflip.
I know, right? I wanna do a Tony Hawk 900 immediately with a Froob in my hand.
Hell yeah.
Hell to the yes. But yes, vaccines are lovely, lovely things, and we should
Get 'em.
continue with them.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I missed the flu shot this year. Next year,
No, I think flu season's over, so you got lucky. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get the flu shot every year from now on.
yeah, I
'cause
think I'm
this
gonna have to do
sucked.
that. My insurance covers it. I think it's only like $10, like at CVS or something.
And then I think even if you don't have insurance, a lot of Walgreens have like for $20 or something.
Which is awesome. Which is not like I would. If anyone needs money for vaccine, we'll go ask someone else first. But if you really need it, we can talk about it. I guess.
Well, we'll
That's
set
fine.
up a GoFund.
We'll set it. Go fund for vaccines for everyone, including Jenny McCartney's children, because they need it. Oh. So let's do. I'm gonna do. I don't know. What do you want to do? A dislike or a like this first time? Do you want some contrast? What are you feeling?
I don't know, man. Let's just do your like.
Okay, let's
stay
do it.
positive.
We're on positive. My like this week is being a rapper.
Oh, are you
I-
a rapper, Kyle?
I am a rapper. I am a part-time rapper, full-time lover, part-time most things in my life. But since we haven't talked in a while, I recently did a show. I did two shows. I did one with MC Chris at the Grog Shop, and that was sold out. Wonderful experience. And then I did a show 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Opening for Spose
I don't know
at
who
the
that
Agora.
is, and I didn't know that you did this.
I will show you on his music videos. The song is called "I'm Awesome." I'm pretty sure you've heard it in some
I'm
capacity.
awesome. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie. I'm awesome. Rolling around in my mom's ride, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I opened for that guy on 420. Blazed it for Jesus. Sure, most
420
definitely
praise
did.
it.
Yeah, 420 praised it. Can't see my hands move up in the air, but I totally just did. So yes, I have not found out, but have accepted the fact that I enjoy being a rapper.
Oh.
I enjoy. There's something about
Is that
going.
why you do it?
I don't know. I
Okay.
think I know why I do it. It's pretty much attention.
Okay.
I wouldn't, anyone who thinks otherwise is wrong. That's fine. If you're a rapper, you're like, I do it for, want to tell stories. That's great. But your main thing is attention. I'm sorry. People want attention. There's a reason you're on stage. If you just want to be telling stories, you write a book or you do something else where you weren't on stage
You know
doing
Bo
it.
Burnham?
Yes.
He has that song "Art Is Dead." This
Yes.
line's my drug is attention, and I'm an addict, and
Yep.
I get paid to indulge in my habit. Like, yeah, that fits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna admit that I like the attention. I've always liked the attention. It's fun, but I really like making besides the attention, and I think it's my top three is attention, and then telling stories, and then entertaining people. I've been on this earth for 25 years, and I have found out through process of elimination, trial and error, and deduction that the only thing that I'm really good at is entertaining people in some capacity. So I have found the best avenue for that right now is being a rapper. And I mean, you were there at the Grog Shop show. Yeah. It seemed like people were very entertained by my material.
It was a very good show.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun. It was
I appreciate it.
I'm
glad.
I'm glad you invited me.
It makes me warm. I'm working on also taking compliments.
And I carried around your flask with the corn dog on it.
Yes, you did.
With Buffalo Trace in it.
That's awesome.
I just drink bourbon out of your flask.
I don't blame you. I saw you sent me a Snapchat of you pouring. I'm like, that's all.
I got home and I was like, well, I'm gonna put it on ice now.
Yeah, let's just do this. Let's be honest. But yes, I really like being a rapper. I like being in that community. I like being on stage and yelling at people for a half an hour to an hour at a time. For me, it is a fun, attention-grabbing experience. I feel vindicated for what I'm doing. I feel like I am expressing myself in a way that most people don't, which makes me feel good at the end of the day. I really like entertaining people, and I feel like this is a great avenue to do it. No one's getting hurt while I am rapping, so I don't feel like it's a big problem.
That's a better form of entertainment, or like you said, the not getting hurt than like the drama-based reality shows. I like it more than that, but
exactly.
I don't know. I really did enjoy. That's the only time I've ever actually seen you perform. There's maybe a couple of audio issues, but it was still a great show.
And that's not on me. That's sound guy and stuff. Oh, it could be me because I could be holding the microphone weird. There's a bunch of weird stuff.
It was like the backtrack in your second song, especially, was just so quiet.
Yeah, some of that stuff happens. That's just part of the process, I assume. But yeah, I've been doing this since 2008, late 2008. So I've been doing this 7 years now.
God, I don't think I've been doing anything since 2008. On
and off for 7 years. Like, there's been some periods where I'm like, didn't feel like creating, wanted to move in a different avenue, wanted to try something new. But then it's like a really bad ex-lover. I'm always gonna go back to rapping no matter what. It's such a fun art form.
You have that song about the room.
This is true.
Me and my buddy going, "Oh hi, Andrew," to each other,
yeah.
So I shared him the song, and he got a kick out of it.
I love it. I love when people share my material and actually don't think it's a joke. That's a huge thing. I mean,
it's like a joke, isn't it? You're making fun of the room.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's this the downside of being a white rapper is the connotation that I'm basically Weird Al.
Oh yeah,
I like Weird Al.
Not parody.
Yeah, and that's not. He's doing parody. I'm doing material
content. Yeah,
content, yeah. And it sucks because I find myself to be a funny person. I find myself to be clever in some capacity, and that comes off a lot on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get the thing going like, oh, you're just like making fun of the culture and stuff, and that's not true at the least bit. So it's like there's some downside.
We're gonna end up talking about Lil Dicky again, aren't we? Like,
yeah,
I want to show that the stand-up rap is actually a real brand of rap.
Exactly, and you can be clever and funny and intelligent with rap and rhymes and whatnot without making fun of people. Of course, I make fun of people all the time because that's tends to happen. But
I mean, Tommy Wiseau is asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, he's so passionate about it though, and I can't fault him on that one. But yes, I love the fact that I'm being a rapper, and I really hope at one point I will get paid to do things like this at a full-time basis. That's my ultimate goal for all of this, everything that I do in my life, because I don't want to work at a 9 to 5 at the end of the day. I want to do what I want to do.
I don't think anyone does.
No, not really.
Necessary evil.
Yeah, it definitely it keeps the food on the table and the kids insured. That's basically what it boils down to. But yes, I feel like expressing yourself through art is a very interesting way to do things, and I had found the one that I really like because I found out very easily that I can't draw, or I can't do a lot of other things that people like to do when they express them. I can't play a musical instrument to save my life. I played trombone for 3 years.
That comes from actual repetition. The screen turned off. Is that okay? I mean, it's not like everyone that has those skills is just naturally born. There are a few music prodigies that just pick it up and all of a sudden it makes sense. But
exactly.
A lot of that is repetition and practice. I mean, You could have been an excellent artist, or you could
This
have
is
been
true.
an excellent like guitarist, but I mean, you chose your path. So you
Yeah.
wanted to be a lyricist.
Yeah,
So
but it
that's-
didn't. Yeah, it didn't
that's the one you
interest
sat
me.
down and spend time with.
This is
so,
true. Yeah, I spent seven years,
Yeah.
seven very long years doing that. So when I feel like being a rapper is really cool. If you want to try it sometime, I recommend it. There's a lot of startup. There's a lot of startup to it, but it's fun. It's a fun thing you could do with your friends. You can look up beats online. A lot of people nowadays, especially with internet rappers, they will find beats online, rap over them, put them online for free, and then they just blow up randomly. Like, that's just part of the internet culture that we're in now. So I don't do that anymore. I used to take beats like that. Now I rarely do that unless it's a live show. My first song, I use the beat from a DMX track, and I feel like that's just more of a personal thing for me.
Like, everyone is familiar with that. Like, I
Exactly.
don't really even listen to that much rap, and
Yeah.
that song
And you know it.
basically all the words too.
Exactly, and
The
it's
way
like
that you,
that's a good
mix that in
starter.
with your own words. It really is a good way to open the crowd up to you.
Yes.
Like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's doing something I know. I can be a part of this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like it, I remember this song, and then I'm gonna go listen to DMX, which everyone should at the end of the day. DMX gets me fucking psyched about life. Anyway, so yes, that's the end of my little speech of being a rapper is a lovely thing. So let's start hating on things.
Start hating on
We're
things.
too positive, and I don't appreciate this. What are you hating on?
So I wasn't sure the best way to go to title this problem, so I'm gonna call it safe spaces.
Okay.
I thought originally call it censorship, but it's a chronic problem that is happening on college campuses right now.
Okay.
And it's a way to shut down like thought or like things that can be considered dissenting ideas.
Okay.
So I came to this one. I was listening to Sam Harris talk with this guy. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a researcher who researches disgust, like the physical, or like the I don't even know but the reaction that is disgust, like being grossed out by something.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to explain that like someone can be disgusted as like a body reaction to like kind of homosexuality, but
Yeah.
you can still learn that you don't hate that. So he was trying to kind of show this to his students, and before that class even ended, one of the students had written an angry letter to the dean saying that this guy's a homophobe and a bigot. And so the guy who's got a PhD works his entire life studying disgust, the reaction of disgust that we don't really have control over. It's like pulling your hand away from a hot stove. So he had to spend 3 months of his time fighting this to prove that like he really is okay to teach, and it really is okay to like kind of have ideas that make us uncomfortable, but that we need to learn.
Yeah.
So one of the most famous facts of this safe space thing is at Yale, a professor wrote an email basically saying it's okay to wear a Halloween costume of a member of a race that you're not. So if like your favorite princess in Disney is Jasmine, you don't have to be Egyptian to dress up like Jasmine, because they were saying it's like cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
They protested the crap out of him. Like, they just thought that was like one of the most hateful, bigoted, short-sighted things you could ever do.
Really?
So it's just this growing problem on campuses of having, instead of like facing ideas that are even wrong head on, but even ones that could help you grow and learn, but they kind of make you uncomfortable because they change the way you think about things, is unacceptable.
Yeah.
So they're creating like safe spaces. So one example of this is, I don't remember where this was. Clapping is seen as a sign of aggression.
How so?
It's a loud, aggressive act. And so whenever you say something that I agree with, I snap my fingers. Like, and so it's just getting ridiculous.
Okay.
It's like really important that even if someone who is completely bigoted, hateful, and wrong, it's okay for them to talk. We have the First Amendment, free speech.
This is
right.
true.
It
It's
is
very
okay
important.
for you to then, like, it's not freedom from consequences.
This is
They
true.
have to live down what they say, but it's still okay for them to say it. And if they really are being stupid, ignorant, and bigoted, you can tear them apart. Like, you have free speech too, but it's this way to shut down dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
I've heard the term used, cry bullies. That,
Okay.
you know, they just act like I'm offended and I'm hurt, and you're a big, huge racist or bigot for saying anything.
Yeah.
So, it's just really hampering, like, free thought. That's why you go to college. College is not supposed to be like this kind of safe space where your ideas aren't questioned.
Yeah.
You go to the gym to grow your muscles, it hurts.
Yeah.
There's delayed onset muscle soreness. It hurts. You
This
go,
is true.
okay, but that's the only way they grow.
Yeah.
So if you really want to grow as a person, mentally, new ideas can not really hurt is the right word, but
it's a better understanding.
it makes you feel uncomfortable. Putting yourself under a microscope makes you feel uncomfortable. Like really learning where your weaknesses are.
Yeah, self-analysis tends to be a huge problem.
It's really important.
Yeah.
And so there's just like this whole idea of safe spaces where you go to college to feel comfortable and unchallenged, but that's really not what it's for.
No, not at all.
We're both too old for this. I didn't experience any of this, but apparently in the last couple of years, this is becoming very prolific on college campuses.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like there's extremes for both of this. And I feel like they're hitting the wrong extreme.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of why it's getting as far as it is, because, like, social justice is a good thing.
Yeah.
The idea that you can do whatever you want, regardless of, like, race or creed, is, like, a good idea.
Yeah.
It should be supported, and, like, actual racist, like, laws or
Mm-hmm.
ideologies should really be, like, mocked and gotten rid of, but it's, like, swinging way too hard, and so anything that doesn't treat you like a special little snowflake, or because you are a non-represented group, your ideas that are wrong can still be wrong. It's not like I'm allowed to. If I criticize something coming out of your mouth, I'm not criticizing like the color of your skin. Like it's hard to hit home exactly what I'm saying, but this safe space ideology is just wrong, and it's really hurting us, and
it's detrimental to
hurting
learning
society, and it's going to create basically a generation of people that don't know how to function in the real world.
Especially when something doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
Or something has a difference of opinion. I feel like that's just something that we have to be not okay with. You shouldn't be okay with bigotry and stuff like that.
No.
But you should be able to listen and interact with people. You could tell them that they're wrong. They're not going to listen to you. That's what part of there's people at my job. I know one of the rules of the job is that you're not supposed to be talking about politics, but it's the political season currently, and we have a couple people.
One of the craziest ones of all time.
This is insane.
Yeah.
And people like to talk about it at my job a lot, and I don't say a fucking word because I can't, because it's gonna hurt. I know whatever I say is gonna come. It's gonna come out, and I'm gonna get real mad at these people for being awful individuals. But so I stand there and I listen, and I feel like I'm learning more about something that I don't know. And I feel like in college you should be doing the same thing. Like, for example, I don't know if this happened on your campus, but on Akron's campus a lot, we had, especially when it was nice out, we had people from certain churches come and like tell us that we're all going to hell if we don't.
We never had those people.
Yeah. So it's like, since it's an open and it's a public college, they're allowed to do that. And I mean, there are people that are like fucking with them and whatnot, which is, I don't feel like that's cool at all. It's not, even though I feel like they're wrong, you shouldn't they were like throwing shit at them and stuff. I'm like, that's not right. Like, that's, and I'll stand there and I'll listen for a couple minutes because I'm like, I want to know what these people are like. Obviously, I know that they're wrong. They're on the wrong side of history, but I really would like to hear what they're going to say because I want to know how to be able to counter them as a people.
But then what I'm even talking about isn't necessarily like even that extreme.
Yeah, and that's just one of the extremes.
If like, let's say you address the question, and this is from that talk I was listening to.
Yeah.
Why? Let's analyze why there are more men in STEM fields than there are women.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say that sexism is not any part of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a component of that.
Most definitely.
But it is not okay right now to say prenatal testosterone might play a role. Like, because, a male fetus is flooded with more testosterone than a female one, and that part of the brain development seems to be linked to kind of that engineering problems. But you can't say that. That's sexist. That's horribly bigoted, and then that professor should get his job taken away because he studies endocrinology.
That's not right. That's the bad side of the extreme.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely how that's not going to work.
I mean, that's why it's just now reaching that point. Like, that's the deal with these safe spaces. It's just like pushing so hard against, like, we are impeding ourselves and our ability to get better as a society.
Correct.
And more knowledge. Like, it's just not the right way to go. So I don't like these safe spaces.
No, I feel like every situation is different. And the biggest problem with, I don't know if this is the biggest problem, but one of the biggest problems I have with this is the fact that it's like they're blanket ideas. They try to cover everything, which is impossible. For a case-to-case basis, sometimes a safe space is a good thing. So, for example, like a veteran who comes home and he has PTSD, when he has like when for the July the fireworks go off, like he is having like a meltdown because he's thinking it's like explosions, he's having flashbacks. Like that's where a safe space would be good.
I do want to clarify. I don't mean like spaces where a person is actually safe.
I
meant like,
my bad.
This area on the college idea that like
Oh,
you create
okay.
up like a barrier that prevents.
Oh, you didn't mean physical.
Like oppressive ideas.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
It's
My
like
apologies.
It's like a term for that.
Okay.
You're allowed to be home. You're allowed to go home and lock your doors and be safe. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just want to be. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying the idea that we're changing what we're teaching people.
Well, but they call them safe spaces in this regard. So
I don't
it's
like that term
yeah,
now. I don't think that's a
so,
term.
Yeah, you can go here and hide, and it'll be like it's a grown adult person can go and play with a puppy because they heard someone clap. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Life is hard. Like
Yeah.
as much as we have like so many amazing things now, and it's easier than it's ever been. We are all like 3 inches on our steering wheel away from dying. Like
Yeah.
it's
All
just-
the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Life is hard.
It is.
But
It's
you
very
do have
hard.
to learn, like, kind of like this is why I brought it in opposing to vaccines. It's good to get a little bit of it when you're ready and prepared, so then when like the real thing hits, you have
Yeah.
the tools necessary to fight off the disease. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of like you need to have the mental capacity for when life shits on you to be able to pull through on the other side.
So basically, you're saying that we're losing our coping mechanism
Yeah,
with life.
it's like we're losing our thought vaccines, like our ability to deal with ideas that are different than our own.
I also feel like a big thing right now is the term triggering, something that I've learned, and I feel like once again there's two sides. There's two sides to it. Triggering is
Yeah, it's
for-
okay to warn someone who went through a traumatic event.
Yeah.
That like, hey, this story might make
Yeah.
you feel that again.
Or like having like no one should feel bad to have to go up to the teacher before a class and be like, hey, just to let you know, like I was raped and I really don't want to listen to this story today or something like that. Like, but like I feel like when the other side of that is when someone says something and doesn't know that person in that group is having those life experiences, and then they get that person who told the story is getting shit on.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know.
Like
And it sounds like that's kind of similar to what you're saying in a way.
yeah,
Like
it's
he
definitely
did,
in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah, they're kind of. I feel like a lot of people are just. It's not all, but it's a good majority of people just like the idea that they are being offended because they want to talk.
Oh, yeah,
they want to talk
absolutely.
about it. They want to talk about how they're wronged. One of my favorite pictures right now that I saw is Yelp was created for white people because white people like to complain about things, and that's true.
Okay,
and
I don't disagree.
Yeah, and I just feel like people are really getting hurt, especially when it comes to college professors and stuff like that, when they're doing different ideas and people are just want to be outraged. It's the outrage aspect
Yeah,
of
it
it, and
is.
they want to be known that they're being outraged, and they want to get likes, and they want to. It's like when I hate when people like post like, oh, I did this really nice thing today for this person. Look at me, like I deserve a star. Like, just be a good person. You don't have to post about it. And I feel like that's all that
if
same
you want
realm of
attention, go be a rapper.
exactly.
It gets the
if you
job
want to,
done.
yeah. See, I got a great idea. Become a rapper. Tell a couple stories. Really hate yourself. It's gonna go super well for you. I promise. I don't know. These kids these days. I'm 25, so when I say
Yeah.
kids these days, I don't know.
No, I'm
But
coming up on 30, so I feel like I can be a grumpy old man.
you can be a
Yeah.
grumpy old man. I'm getting there. I'm getting to that point where I'm gonna just not take shit.
Yeah, but I've I just listen to stuff online when I'm playing Hearthstone or something just to kind of unwind.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Joe Rogan talk. He's a lot older than the fight promoter guy.
Yeah, I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
His podcast is crazy.
Yeah, I've just started listening
You
to
learn
it.
so much.
Yeah. But he was talking about how there was this big swing like this. There's this movie PCU. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty good, but it's kind of like everything swung way too hard politically correct. Like it's past the point of like, hey, we're trying to include others, get actual
Yeah.
social justice, to like being crazy over the top.
Yeah.
And he said like there was a big swing for this some point in time in the 90s. And it's like it's happening again, but then it's like a new way. It's like really prolific. And the college, what's different now, it's like the establishment's giving into them. So like if I said, hey, this guy studies endocrinology, he said that testosterone does have impact on mentality.
Yeah.
He triggered me. I'm going to write this email to the dean. He's caught up in the litigation for 3 months. They have
Yeah.
to actually prove, like, instead of before, they're like, no, that's just what he does. He
Yeah.
teaches
This is
endocrinology.
what. Yeah. It's
Like,
like
you can change your major. You don't have to take this
yeah.
class.
If you
like-
don't like
Yeah.
it, if you're having problems already with it, then clearly there is something that's going on morally and ethically with you, and maybe this is not the field that you should be going into. Or it's like when I took like like a world religion class. I don't agree with any of it.
Yeah.
But I took it,
Yeah.
and I wanted to take it because I wanted to know. I had I don't hate them, but I mean, like, I opposed everything they stood. I did not like the idea of it, but I wanted to know, and like, you could still learn stuff without liking it. That's part of life. It's everything in part of life. But Joe Rogan's podcast is, oh man, it's intense.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to the podcast. I've been listening to the clips of it I found on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll pull up.
Yeah, as a forewarning, they're like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I did. I noticed.
They are so long.
So that's
He
why I did
just
while I was
talks,
doing other things. But yeah.
talks, but it's good. It's not like he's like,
He's really good at making his point. I wish I was a little better at making mine. He's really good at hitting the point home.
yeah, no, I agree. He does his research, and I feel like that's something that we should all do sometimes.
I'm a big fan of research.
Yeah, as I can tell, as you bring out your phone.
This week, research.
Research, boom. Oh God. All right, I'm gonna talk about my dislike for a moment.
Okay.
My dislike is biased reviews.
Okay, so I wasn't exactly sure what you meant by this. I thought I have two things.
Okay.
So one is like, all right, I'm a brewer.
Yeah.
So let's say my last beer that I just came out was a Wee Heavy. So
Yes.
let's say a competing brewery comes out with a Wee Heavy, and I just shit over it in a review. So that's biased because I want people to like mine and because of his. Or do you mean more like I get paid by whatever company to say that this is great, even though I don't really feel that way? So do you mean
more of the first one?
Okay.
I'll explain. I think I had a different term for it, and then we were trying to do scheduling and whatnot. And I was actually the other day I was looking through all of our past conversations because I'm like, biased reviews doesn't sound what I actually said, and I'm like looking through. I'm like, I can't find it. I can't find what I said. Anyways, so I'll just keep talking and we'll change it. So I saw Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
Don't go see it.
Yeah, I've heard that from everyone.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Anyways, but I saw it, and let's put it this way: it was so bad that the child that was sitting next to me kept bugging his dad. About 30 minutes into the movie, he's kept asking his dad, "Can we go home now?" And when a child,
I love that.
I feel like children.
When a child is watching like big monsters punch each other.
Exactly.
And he's bored.
And he's bored, and he's like, "Dad, can we please go?" And the dad's like, "Well, you said you wanted to see this movie."
Yeah.
He's like, "We're gonna see this movie," and his dad's just on the phone the whole. He's like, he doesn't care either, but he's like, I feel like if your kid doesn't like a superhero movie, besides like Deadpool and stuff like that, but like most superhero movies, like kids are pumped about.
They'll often give you your money back if you leave like half an hour into it. And be
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you're
this is
good.
Absolute garbage.
You're good. So I took my father to go see it. He really wanted to see it, and I wanted to go see it. One, because I like taking him to go see movies, and two, because then I could talk shit about it if I didn't like it. I went in with a full perspective. Like, I feel like as a journalism type major, I feel like I should be very open with everything and make sure that when I go into something, I need a clean slate. I need a peace of mind, stuff like that. Turn down my mind for a little bit to watch this movie. It sucked. Anyways, but the problem is that it's doing bad. It's doing real bad. It's making a bunch of money, but it's getting worse ratings than like Paul Blart Mall Cop. So there's a problem here.
I haven't seen the movie. Is it worse than Paul Blart Mall Cop?
I haven't seen it, but Rotten Tomatoes seems to suggest that yes, it is.
Okay.
But people are shitting on these professional reviewers of film, of cinema, of movies, that they are wrong. Why? Because they love Batman, and Batman can't do wrong. There's never been a bad Batman movie we're ever talking about. It's fucking bullshit.
What about Batman Forever? That was pretty shity.
Oh yeah. That's well. It was supposed to be sarcastic. I apologize, but yeah, people are shitting on these reviewers and like attacking them, like over email and tweets and stuff, saying that they're wrong because they like Batman so much. Because they like that universe.
Oh,
they like Superman.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, they will turn a blind eye to the awful rating, the 2.5-hour movie, the clearly advertised, like 10-minute advertisement of the Justice League halfway in the movie. A bunch of shit. I won't talk about it. I could do 8 podcasts about it already. But they just, because it has Batman in it, they like it. Why? Why is it a thing? You shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be biased because you automatically like something because of that. Like, I love Edgar Wright. I think he's one of my favorite writers. Obviously, there's a Shaun of the Dead poster right there.
Yeah.
I like the trilogy. Didn't think At World's End was that good.
I agree with you. I really, really wanted to like that movie. It's the only one I only saw once.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, and that was it.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not scathed by it. It's not it's screwing my life up when someone says it's not a good movie. I can be okay with that. There's movies that I like that are clearly bad, and I get that. Like, I love The Room and stuff like that, or like...
Yeah, but I mean, part of the reason you love that is because of its bad charm.
This is true.
It's not like loving, I don't know, Failure to Launch.
Yeah,
Where,
that's true.
Yeah.
Hold on now. Matthew McConaughey and Failure to Launch is... I guess another better example would be like, I really like the movie Hot Rod. I think it's one of the... I love that movie. That movie did not do good ratings-wise. And it's like, I get it. But these people, there's a difference between I get it, why you think it's bad, but I still like it, over you're stupid. But this is the greatest movie ever because Batman's in it. Like, that's fucking bullshit.
This kind of comes back to when I said people not taking criticism is a problem.
Yes.
But this is even like a step removed. Like, people not taking criticism of a thing they like. Like, you didn't even make that.
Yeah.
You didn't do that.
They put so much time and energy reading the comics, watching the movies, looking at the video games. They're like, they kind of have to double down on the fact that this is a bad movie, so they're gonna try to oh, it's really good. Like, and I must admit, if they just made it a Batman movie and would have cut out an hour of it,
they are actually doing that.
Yeah,
with, Ben Affleck as Batman.
It was a pretty good Batman movie.
So,
but everything else with it makes it a shitty movie entirely. But I feel like these people are just like being so rude to all the reviewers. Like, these people get paid to watch cinema and understand facets of how a movie works more than ever you could even imagine.
I don't understand why people get so angry about especially online. You just like threaten.
Yeah,
this is kind of related to my dislike. It's like your opinion is different than mine, so
I hate you.
Instead of this is the inverse. Instead of hiding from it, it's like, I want you to fucking die in a fire.
Exactly. Yeah, I love this thing. I spent so much time with this thing. The fact that you don't like it bothers the shit out of me, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I get, once again, First Amendment. You could talk about what you want, but sorry, buddy, you're fucking wrong. It was a bad fucking movie. I can't help it.
I don't know why you're defending it so vigorously. Yeah, they're like, it's not a product you could have bought stock in and are trying to convince people to...
Like, and I'll go through, like, when it first came out, I would go through Facebook. And I could tell already before I can even read through all the comments and the posts and statuses whether or not someone's going to like the movie, because I would go through their pictures and they probably have a Batman cover photo or some of them with a Batman shirt. So clearly they're going to like the fucking movie because I see Batman on goddamn screen. So it's annoying and I hate it, and you should be more open to the fact that sometimes your favorite thing could be fucking bad.
Yeah,
so I like the Dark Knight trilogy. It's good. Those Batman movies beforehand, pretty awful in their own way.
But even in the Dark Knight trilogy, the last one, kind of pointless.
Yeah, didn't really need to happen.
Anything. There's like a huge glaring errors everywhere. Like there's the scene where the stock exchange just opens, Bane and people leave on the motorcycle, and Batman shows up and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, they're just like, oh fuck.
No one noticed that.
We done goofed real good.
Like, I know it's overplayed, and I still love The Dark Knight. I think that movie's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a good piece of cinema.
The Dark Knight Returns is okay. Like,
exactly.
Rises, I think, not Returns. The Dark Knight Rises. Is okay. Like,
but people get so. I feel like people just get so protective of something that they put so much time into learning about.
Let's pull some hate my way. I don't think Return of the Jedi is that good.
That's fine.
Yeah, like,
I could see why I guess it must be the journalism side of me. I can see why you don't like it.
Yeah,
it makes sense to me.
The stuff with Luke, Darth Vader, and the Emperor, very, very good.
Yeah,
but none of the other characters have anything to do in the premise that, like, dude, it was really cool in the first one when we blew up a Death Star. Let's have them blow up a Death Star again. Like,
yep.
And that's kind of my biggest gripe with the prequel, not the prequel,
the new one.
The new one.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually very good.
I thought it was fun. It was a good reboot. I
like it more than Jedi. But it was a reboot of A New Hope. It was the same movie.
I'm very excited for Red Letter Media's review of it. Hopefully it comes out soon. Jason and I have been watching, whenever I get a chance, I try to watch a little bit more of the Star Wars reviews again.
And Revenge of the Sith just came back up yesterday or the day before.
Did it?
It had been down for a while because of a copyright.
I had to use a proxy server and say I was in like Sweden to get the video. It was fucking annoying. I'm good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. But yes, biased reviews are a problem, and you should be more open to the fact that something that you enjoy may be bad sometimes.
So is this more like review hostility?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's change it.
Yeah.
Review Hostility.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a better term. But yeah, and then also, did you see the trailer for the new Batman movie, the animated The Killing Joke?
No.
They do okay. So DC sucks at like making live action films.
No, yeah.
They're really good at animated features. Animated features in CW shows. I don't like the CW shows. I don't care for them. Whatever. They're what it is. But they do really well. They do that well. But their animated stuff, all the Batman animated films, like the Red I forget what it's called. Anyways, they're making one off of a really, really good Batman comic. It's supposed to be the quote unquote final one. I believe it's the guy who did Watchmen.
Okay.
Oh, look, I have it in my shelf. And it's the only Batman thing that I own. It's called The Killing Joke. Super violent, super fucked up beyond comprehension. It's like, that looks awesome. And I'm very excited about that. But I'm also worried that's going to be bad, too. I can objectively look at things. Objectivity is a huge thing. I think that's what I'm getting at. But yes, review Hostility sounds much cooler. I like that. I like that a lot.
I think it is more accurate because biased reviews sounds like the review itself.
Yeah.
Like a reaction
Okay.
to
Review
it.
Hostility. It is then. I like it. Do you have any other closing remarks, arguments?
Yeah,
potatoes?
Not really, man.
Cool. We should probably talk about something real quick. We were going to be going on a hiatus for a little bit. I am running into a bunch of projects that need my attention, and I don't have a lot of time to do the podcast for a little while. Hopefully, because one of the projects that I am working on is going to be a lot closer to James, that we can do like quick one-offs, maybe like movie reviews as you discussed and whatever.
Like that, or maybe
we'll do
just both like or dislike a thing and just bitch
exactly,
about the same
and we can
thing
bitch about it for
20
half an hour
minutes.
because I'll be over in that area.
Yeah.
We live kind of far away from each other, so it's sometimes hard to schedule things and things happen. But yes, I am getting quite busy during the summer with filming stuff and writing stuff and whatnot that I need to kind of put this on hold for a little bit. We will be back. I don't know when, but hopefully when the summer winds down, that's my goal to pick this up
When
back
the
again.
Summer winds down. Are you guys staying in Lakewood when your lease is up? You think?
I think so.
Yeah,
we're trying our hardest to do
and
that.
I'm
so
probably going to move out this way. We'll be closer together.
Perfect.
So it'll be a lot easier to just
Yes.
on a whim knock one out.
Yes, and that'd be awesome. It'd be really easy. So yes, James and I both really appreciate you guys listening to us, and we really appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll have some more content for you soon.
But Kyle, you're making lots of content. So
I'm
trying.
I'm working on 2 YouTube series right now, and I am writing 3 short films, and I am writing a new album, and I'm writing another new album, and I'm not sleeping, and it's fun. So hopefully I will have some content, and James will of course be around for at least some of that in some capacity.
But I'll be playing Dark Souls in the meantime. So
Yes.
if you'd want to, I don't know, play Dark Souls.
I'm gonna watch you play Dark Souls. We've been over this. I'm bad at Dark Souls. But yeah. So once again, this will be just put on hold for a little bit. This project will not die. I love doing the podcast with James. This has been a blast to do it, but things have to change for a little bit in order to make this come back in a much stronger sense. I feel like that's
fair.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right, guys. What were your likes and dislikes for this week, James?
I liked vaccines, and I don't like safe spaces, but like the idea of them not an actual place where you're safe, like the safe spaces on college campuses right now.
Gotcha.
Where
Not the
you're
physical ones
Yeah.
that I think that was
Yeah.
happening. All right. And I like being a rapper, and I do not like review Hostility. Once again, this has been Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. I'm Kyle,
I'm Jenny McCarthy.
and have a good evening.